Now, if you've been trying to keep the hips back in the downswing, but no matter how hard you try, you can't stop that pelvis from moving towards the golf ball. Well, I'm going to show you in this video how to always keep your hips back, because there are three main keys here for setup, backswing and downswing that you need in your golf swing that no one talks about to be able to keep your hips back. And I'm going to show you exactly how to train it with the correct drills. So let's get straight to it. So the first key to always keeping your hips back, and that is your setup. This is make or break. So what we need to see for players to be able to keep their hips back in the downswing is have what we call old man posture. Now, old man posture, what that is having your pelvis tucked underneath your body, having a relatively straight lower back and a gradual round to your mid back and upper spine area. And you just let your arms hang down. So it gives that visual like you're an old man holding a cane. So what that does, why that's so instrumental for you to keep the hips back, because then as we turn, our balance is going to be kept amazingly. So what do I mean by balance, and especially dynamic balance? So when we have our dynamic posture in our old man kind of fashion here, we are having our armpits over the balls of the feet, which is of course over the mass of our lower body. So my upper body is now going to be managed, the weight of it, by my lower body really well. So that means then I can turn down successfully and get my hips back without having to do anything to, let's say, reorganize a bad thing that I've done before. So it's so much easier if we've got those armpits over the balls of the feet to be able to push the hips back in both backswing and downswing. But of course, what we want for this video is, of course, downswing. So to understand that even more so, if I'm doing what most amateur golfers do wrong who can't keep their pelvis back, they will be in this type of position because they'll be thinking, okay, I want to keep my hips back in the downswing or in the golf swing in general, so I'm going to set up with my hips really pushed back because that makes sense just to keep it there. But that would do the exact opposite, because when we have our hips pushed back a ton in this kind of modern athletic posture, you're going to have quite a curved and extended lower back and quite straight mid back to upper spine area. So now my armpits are over my toes. So as soon as I start to turn from here, because the mass of my upper body is now over a very unstable part of my feet, the toes, I'm going to start to drift forward. So we will see quite often a player with this athletic modern posture, they will start to move and the weight will go onto the toes. And then as they start the downswing, because their weight is so much onto the toes, they've got to regain balance. Pelvis has got to go forward to be able to rebalance yourself. Imagine you're on a tightrope over a canyon. If you're going to slightly move forward on that tightrope with your upper body, what's your body going to do as a response? It's going to move back in that direction. Pelvis will go forward, spine will extend to be able to do that. So that's why we see so many players do so many early extension drills to keep their pelvis back, but they set up in this terrible posture and they always pop up going through the golf ball because their posture is just generally terrible. It doesn't support them dynamically in their movement. So simple setup routine here to get you in that old man posture every time. You just have to do this a couple times, feel it, and then you've got it. So what we do, we stand with a very slight amount of flex in the knees, very slight. And ultimately we stand upright like we're talking to someone dead straight in front of us. Now what we do, we grip the club, and now we relax our mid and upper back until the club hits the ground. And now I'm in that perfect posture. So again, I've just got a very slight bend in the knees, not loads, just a very slight. Standing up like I'm talking to someone in front of me. Relax mid and upper back until club hits the ground. Now the armpits over the balls of the feet. Now we're in a place to where we can turn and rotate. Mass of the upper body is nicely kept in balance by the lower body. So that's a great way to get into that procedure. If you've got long arms like myself, you might have to take a little shuffle back because you might feel too close, but don't change your posture. And now you're in a great space to be able to keep the hips back. So the second key here, and this is now your backswing. So you can set up in a great posture, but then if your backswing's terrible, you've got bad hip turn, you're going to still have the pelvis drive forward in the downswing. So having good hip turn and good lower body movement. So what I want to see players do to always keep those hips back and have the best chance stacking the cards in your favor to do it in the downswing is you need to rotate your pelvis, but it's like someone is grabbing your right trouser pocket and pulling it back. So what that's doing, that is giving you what we call more hip depth. So it's moving your hips and your right side more behind. Whenever we're more behind, that's deeper. So again, if I have, let's say, a pelvis line right here, so a red line, now as I'm turning, I want to either have the pelvis stay on that in the backswing or move more behind. So we can see other things like we know that's turning my pelvis, coiling me up, but it's also extending my right leg. It's not extending it to where it locks out, it's extending it to just short of lockout. We need to allow that to happen. So many golfers, are here with a completely bent right leg. We don't need to do that. That used to be, let's say, mainstream golf instruction in the early 2000s, but as soon as that started wrecking all the tour players' backs, that's a thing that isn't taught anymore, and especially if it wrecks their backs, it will wreck your back too. So allow that right leg to straighten, allow it to turn, but simply just feel like someone's grabbing that right trouser pocket and pulling it back. So that's going to keep you back, and then that's going to be starting and loading the shotgun for you to be able to move and keep those hips back in the downswing really nicely. And there we go. So what we see there for players, of course, who don't do that. You see, and I see this so often, I would say about 8 out of 10 students who come to me and say that they're struggling with early extension, they can't keep the pelvis back. You will see them in the backswing. Again, if I have my red line right by my pelvis and I'm turning up to the top, they will start to move forward of that line in the backswing. So they're not getting any hip turn, they're not getting any loading of that trail hip, the pocket isn't being pulled back, it's more being pulled forward, and their right leg is staying too flexed. So if you are in that backswing and your pelvis has moved more forward, again, this is a golf swing's in one fluid movement. So if you're getting up to the top of the swing, moving one direction towards the golf ball, where you're going to go in the downswing, you're just going to continue to go forward. It is a absolute surefire way to keep the pelvis working towards the golf ball, which we know is not what we want. So it requires a ton of practice. I timed that one quite nicely, but you're not going to get that much distance out of it, and you're going to be so erratic on the golf course. So our little feeling for this, like we said, is right pocket being pulled back. So again, we're going to get into some great drills for the training aspect of this. So again, right pocket being pulled back. If we do something as simple as that, again, I hit that slightly off the bottom of the face, and it's got a good 20 yards further through the air. Right pocket back is the key for the backswing. So the third key here for the downswing. So the downswing, so important, because again, you can lock and load yourself correctly, but then if you have a faulty concept or just a faulty pattern, you are not going to keep the pelvis back. So what I've got here, I've got an alignment stick through my belt loop because we need to keep our hip tilt. We will not be able to keep the pelvis back if we do not keep the tilt of our hips. So what is the tilt of our hips? We know in a golf swing, we have an inclination to the ground. Our lead side is lower than our trail side because the ball is on the ground. We need to be tilted. So that's where in the downswing, if we lose that tilt with the lead side coming up early, a lot of people try to bump their hips or lift up their left side quickly, and that is going to quickly move your pelvis towards the golf ball as you do so. It's also going to stall out your rotation, and you're going to move back here behind the golf ball and probably hurt your lower back in the process. So we need to keep that left side with that stick moving down and around turning. So stick stays down. So with that left side of the pelvis stays down and turn. So again, it's almost like someone again is grabbing my left trouser pocket now and pulling it back. My left side's going to stay down with my tilt. And what's going to happen as I start to get through impact area, I'm going to start to straighten up my left leg now, because if we keep that left leg too bent, we're not going to continue our hip rotation, so our hips won't stay back. So that's where having that left side of the trouser pocket being pulled back, having the stick going down, representing our tilt, someone's pulling that trouser pocket back, that's getting us through our full range of motion. It's getting us into, of course, that nice left leg extension. So we need to keep that left side down as we're turning and keep it going back and around like with a visual with the stick. And we're going to be able to keep the pelvis back really, really nicely. So again, if we try to bump those hips and get the left side lifting up, we're losing our tilt, we're losing our relationship to the ground. So our pelvis is just going to start to work through the golf ball and go towards it, and we're just going to stall out and flip and probably hurt ourselves at the same time. So not the nice one to do. So okay, absolutely, left side goes back. We want to make sure that in that backswing, right pocket gets pulled back. Nice and simple, old man posture for setup. So let's get to how to train this. So how to train this. Now we know what the body needs to do. We've got to get into a good little plan here. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a dry drill, and then we're going to do a drill with the golf ball. So dry drill, what is that? That is ultimately just a drill without a golf ball. So what I want you to do is get yourself to a wall. So you can easily do this at home, for example, or somewhere like here, Tee to Green in Scotland, you know, great indoor facility. You've got the walls on either side. If you've got your own kind of indoor facility, absolutely, it's be great for there. So get yourself up to a wall to where you're just about half a grip's distance with the wall behind you. So what I want you to do is completely have no club at all. Put your hands across your shoulders, and now, as we know, okay, old man posture. Good. And then what we're doing, we're turning in that backswing. And what are we doing to turn that? We're getting the right trouser pocket being pulled back. Now, as you do this, gradually do it. Don't just do it straight away, because you might run into locking out your right leg. So just gradually do it and get it to where we're exaggerating here. So I want you to feel like you're getting that right hip hitting the wall. So it's going deeper, more back than where you were at setup. Okay, you can also see how my right foot starts to lift up as I do that. Again, it's just an exaggeration. So my right toes come up off the ground. Okay, and then in the downswing, we want then to get that left hip meeting and turn through. So we get our right hip going back to the wall, and we want our left hip to meet it, and then have another little turn and kind of swivel around that wall. So right hip back touch, left hip back meet the wall, and then through. So again, do a bunch of those. I would really recommend to do as much as you physically can. Again, you can do this at home really, really easily. It's going to give you a very, very different sensation. Now, once we've done a bunch of those, let's say a little routine wise, that let's say you're in somewhere like here again, do 5 of those. And once you've done 5, good old classic drill you've all seen on my channel before, and that is the good old chair drill. So like a stool, a chair, a golf bag. Again, just like with the wall, what were we doing? We were having it around a grip to half a grip's distance behind us. Same concept. I want you to get as close as you can to hitting it with your right side in the backswing, and then same thing for the downswing. Again, simple feels like right pocket back, left pocket back, old man posture at setup, and then we're going to do 3 of these. So 3, just making sure we're getting as close as we can. It doesn't matter massively if we don't hit it. We know our intent of trying to get the hips back is going to be a really good one to help us along the way. Let's go. So again, nice and soft, just to make sure you're getting the sensation. If you go fast straight away, you're not going to be able to do it. It's that simple. A lot of you won't be able to get it doing it slow. So if you can't do it slow, there's no chance you're going to do it fast. But when we're learning anything, you've got to do it slow to start off with. Again, we know we may have been playing golf for a long time. You may have been playing golf for multiple decades, but this is still a completely foreign movement that your body is not used to doing. So that's where you have to treat it like it's a brand new thing. And whenever we learn anything brand new, we have to do it very slow and very conscious. So again, right hip back, left hip back. Doesn't matter if you hit it or not. Again, I'm hitting it really nice and slow. It's going again 20 yards shorter because I'm going that smooth, just to make sure I'm getting right hip back and left hip going back as close as I can get it, hopefully to hitting that stall. 3rd one. There we go. That might just come back, and it is indeed. Okay, so if I did that, 3 balls, and then what we do, we go back again to doing our 5 here. And then we go 3 again, and back and forth. 3 balls, 5 dry drills. 3 balls, 5 dry drills. And the balls are done with the drill. So why 3 balls? Because if you start to do more than that, the feel that you're getting from the wall will start to degrade. So that's where you don't want to get in reps that aren't very good. You want to get in the best quality reps as you can. So that's why you could do that for 15 minutes. You can do that for half an hour. And you're going to get an extremely good practice session, especially if you're focusing on old man posture, right hip back, left hip back with the pockets, good drills. That's how you're going to train to always keep your hips back, not only in the downswing, but in the backswing as well. Super important, just like you see all the top pros, and then you can say goodbye to early extension. But there is moves in the golf swing, absolutely, that will encourage you to come out of posture. We're talking about body movement, or your pivot movement needs to do, but there are positions you need to be in as well. Absolutely, if you need to see, again, you're doing these and you still can't quite get it, there are absolutely a link in the description for online lessons with myself, or there is a link to the early extension masterclass. Everything you want to know about root causes, about how to apply that to your golf swing with good practice structures is in that. And there's plenty of other videos here on YouTube on my channel of talking about root causes that make you come out of posture and not keep that pelvis back. Again, if you enjoyed this video, click that like button for more golf instruction just like this. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.